Hi friends! Welcome back to another ukulele tutorial. Today we're looking at the song Time After Time. This is one of my favorite songs from the 80s, and we're going to look at two different fingerpicking patterns that we can use to play through the song. We'll use one pattern on the verses and the other pattern on the chorus. In this tutorial, we'll walk through how to play each section of the song, and then after the lesson, we'll have a play-along where I'll play through the entire song, alternating between patterns, and you can play along with me. This song also has many beautiful riffs in it, and if you'd like to learn the riffs, then let me know down below in the comments. If there's enough interest, then I'll create another tutorial just on how to play the riffs in this song. Throughout this lesson, the chords, lyrics, and patterns will be on screen, and you can also download them as a PDF from my Patreon page, along with my songbook that has all of the songs that I've covered in my tutorials. I would love for you to become a patron and join my Patreon community. Or if you'd like to show your support for my channel by buying me a coffee, you can do that as well. You'll find both links down below in the video description. I want to point out that I'm playing a tenor with a low G. If you have a high G on your instrument, you can follow this entire lesson and the patterns. Just keep in mind that the patterns will sound a bit different on your instrument because your fourth string is one octave higher than mine. Now let's start by taking a look at how to play the chords in this song. If you're already familiar with these chords, then skip ahead to our first pattern. Our first chord is D minor. I'm playing this chord with my index finger on the first fret of the second string, and my middle and ring fingers on the second fret of strings 3 and 4. Our next chord is C. In this song, we alternate between D minor and C for the first two lines of every verse, and I find it easier to play C with my pinky to alternate between these two chords. But if you prefer, you can play your D minor chord and then move your ring finger over to play C. Next we have our F chord. I'm playing F with my index finger on the first fret of the second string and my middle finger on the second fret of the fourth string. Then we have G. For G, I have my index and middle fingers on the second fret of strings 3 and 1, and my ring finger on the third fret of the second string. Next we have E minor. For E minor, I have my index finger on the second fret of the first string, my middle finger on the third fret of the second string, and my ring finger on the fourth fret of the third string. Next we have G7. This is similar to G, except we're playing the first fret rather than the third fret of the second string. So I have my index finger on the first fret of string 2, and my middle and ring fingers on the second fret of strings 3 and 1. Finally, we have our A minor chord. A minor is the second fret of the fourth string. You can play this chord with either your index finger or your middle finger. In this song, we move from A minor into F. So for me, I find it easier to play A minor with my middle finger and then simply place down my index finger to go to our F chord. Now we've come to our first pattern. We're going to apply this first pattern to the verses of our song. Before we dive into the pattern, I'm going to play and sing through verse 1 as a demo so you can hear how it sounds. Then we'll take a close look at our pattern and how to apply it to the verses. Here's how it sounds to play through verse 1. Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you, caught up in circles, confusion of memories, time after. Here's our first pattern played slowly on a C chord. I'm starting with my thumb on the 4th string, index finger on the 3rd string, and then I'm playing strings 1 and 2 together with my middle and ring fingers. Then I'm repeating that sequence. The rhythm of this pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's how it sounds to bring this pattern up to the tempo of this song. Now, taking a look at the verses, we're going to play this pattern 4 times on line 1 and 4 times on line 2. Each time we play this pattern on the first 2 lines, we'll start on D minor and then switch over to C halfway through the pattern. So line 1 or line 2 will sound like this. To line 3 of the first verse, we're going away from our first pattern and we're going to pick all 4 strings on each chord. As an example, the first 4 chords of line 3 will sound like this. Starting with F and G, our first 2 chords, we'll pick F on our first beat and we'll pick G on the second and. So here's how we count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The same will apply to our next 2 chords, going from E minor to F. The count here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next, we're going to play F one more time on our first beat, and then we'll play our G chord on our 3rd beat. The count here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To finish up line 3, we're going back to our E minor chord, and we'll play our first pattern. So here's how we count out the entire 3rd line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Moving into line 4, we have 5 chords on this line. And we're going to play these chords the same way as the first 5 chords in line 3. So starting on our F chord, and then going to G, then E minor, going to F. We'll play F one more time, and then instead of the G that we had on line 3, we end line 4 on G7. So here's how we count line 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Our second verse is played the same way as the first for the first 3 lines. Line 4 of the second verse is played a bit differently. So let's take a look at how to play our second verse. The 4th line of verse 2 is played differently than the 4th line of the first verse. Here we're ending on our F chord, and we're going to play these 4 chords on beats 1 and 3. So starting on our F chord, the count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Adding in the lyrics over these chords. The second hand unwinds. Now I'll sing through the second verse. Sometimes you picture me, I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me, I can't hear what you said. Then you say, go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give this video a thumbs up and thank you so much for subscribing. And now we've come to our second pattern, which will apply to the chorus. The chorus is 4 lines long, and it's played 3 times within the song. The first and last chorus are repeated, so they're 8 lines each, whereas the second time we play the chorus, it's only played once for 4 lines. Now I'm going to play through the first chorus for you, repeated for 8 lines, so you can hear how it sounds, and then we'll dive into this pattern and how to apply it to the chorus. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me, time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting, time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me, time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting, time after time. Here's our second pattern, played slowly on a G chord. I'm starting by playing strings 4 and 1 together with my thumb and ring finger. Then I'm playing the 3rd string with my index finger, 2nd string with my middle finger, and 1st string with my ring finger. Then I'm going back to string 3 with my index finger, and finishing on string 2 with my middle finger. The rhythm of this pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Bringing this pattern up to the tempo of this song will sound like this. Taking a look at our chorus, we're starting on our G chord. We'll play our second pattern once on G, and then once on A minor. In line 2, we're going to our F chord, and we're going to pick all 4 strings on F, and then all 4 strings on G7. We'll play our F chord on beat 1 and G7 on beat 3. So the timing here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we go to our C chord at the end of line 2 and we'll play our pattern once. We're going to repeat that sequence for lines 3 and 4 as they're played the exact same way as lines 1 and 2. Here's how it looks to play through our chorus, instrumental only. After the chorus comes our third verse, and this verse is played the same way as verse 2. So now I'm going to play through verse 3 for you so you can hear how it sounds. After my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray, watching through first three, we play our chorus just one time, and then we move into a 2-line pre-chorus. These 2 lines are the same as the final 2 lines of verse 2. Then you say, go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. After our pre-chorus, we move into the final chorus to end the song. Here the chorus is repeated twice, and the final line repeats to a fade. So we can play through this line as many times as we would like. Time after time, time after time, time after time. If you'd like, you can end the final C chord with an arpeggio downstrum, nice and slow. Now we're moving into our play along section, where I'm going to play through the entire song instrumental only, so you can really hear how I move back and forth between the different patterns. 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope you've enjoyed learning these beautiful patterns to play time after time. And remember to let me know down below if you want to learn the riffs in this song. Have fun practicing, and thanks for watching. After time, time after time, time after time.